My brother announced he's getting married and asked me to be his best man. I said yes, immediately, genuinely happy for him. Then 3 days later at Sunday dinner, my parents casually mentioned they're giving him $50,000 for the wedding. My fork literally stopped halfway to my mouth. Here's the thing, when I got married 3 years ago, they handed me a card with $100 inside and spent 20 minutes lecturing me about fiscal responsibility and living within my means. My wife Sarah and I paid for everything ourselves. We booked a small community center, made our own centerpieces with flowers from the grocery store, did a buffet-style dinner with a local caterer. It was beautiful and intimate, but we went $18,000 into debt for it. We're still making payments. Now my brother's getting enough money to put a down payment on a house, and everyone around the table is nodding like this is completely reasonable. My mom's already talking about hiring some celebrity wedding planner she saw on Instagram. My dad's discussing which country club has the best reception venue. Nobody's even glancing my direction. At the engagement party 2 weeks later, my dad pulled me aside near the bar. "Your brother's wedding is going to be really special. We want to make sure he starts his marriage right. Set him up for success, you know?" I took a sip of my beer and asked him point blank what made my brother's marriage more important than mine. He actually looked confused by the question, like I'd asked him why water is wet. "Well, you were always the independent one, self-sufficient. We figured you didn't need help. You always handled things on your own." I wanted to scream that I handled things on my own because I had no other choice, but I just walked away. Sarah found me outside 10 minutes later, and I told her everything. She squeezed my hand and said we'd survived without their money before. We'd keep surviving. The following month, my brother sent me this massive text with his bachelor party itinerary. 4 days in Vegas, penthouse suite at the Cosmopolitan, bottle service at 3 different clubs, private poker tournament, the whole ridiculous package. At the bottom, he casually mentioned that our parents are covering my flight, hotel, and expenses as an early birthday gift. I stared at that message for a solid 5 minutes. Then I texted back that I couldn't make it. Work commitment came up. He called me immediately, furious, said I was being selfish and unsupportive on the biggest weekend of his life, that he'd always been there for me, and this is how I repay him. I didn't argue, just said I was sorry and hung up. That night, I couldn't sleep. Sarah was passed out next to me, exhausted from her double shift at the hospital. I got up, went to my office, and opened the file cabinet where I keep important documents. Pulled out a folder labeled Wedding 2021. Inside was every receipt, every invoice, every payment confirmation. I'd kept meticulous records because we needed them for our taxes and to track our debt. I spent 2 hours building a spreadsheet, every single expense listed out. Venue rental, catering per person, flowers, photography, my suit rental, Sarah's dress alterations, invitations, favors, the cake, the DJ. Next to each item, I put how we paid for it. Credit card, payment plan, borrowed from Sarah's sister, skipped our honeymoon to cover the difference. At the bottom, I scanned the card my parents gave us, that single $100 check made out in my dad's handwriting. I'd never cashed it, kept it as a reminder, though I couldn't explain why. I sent the entire spreadsheet to my brother at 2 a.m. No message, just the attachment. Then I photographed the check and sent that too. I woke up at 9 a.m. to 17 missed calls, 12 from my brother, 5 from my mom. Before I could listen to any voicemails, my phone rang again. Mom, her voice was shaking, crying, barely coherent. She kept saying she didn't know. They didn't. Realize, why didn't I say something? Apparently my brother had driven to their house at 7 a.m., walked in with my spreadsheet printed out, and laid it on their breakfast table. He'd asked them to explain the math. Why his wedding got $50,000 and mine got $100. My dad tried the same excuse about me being independent. My brother asked if they thought independence meant I didn't deserve their support. The call ended abruptly. An hour later, my brother texted me. Just one line, but I must have read it 50 times. I told them to split the wedding money. You're taking $25,000 and we're paying off your debt. He canceled Vegas and downgraded everything.